Detroit just realized they lost. Not in sales figures or market share, though those numbers are brutal. They lost something worse: the ability to justify their prices. These 5 Chinese cars deliver technology Western brands charge an extra $50,000 to $100,000 for, except they cost half as much and do things physics says shouldn't be possible. We're ranking them by the gap between what you pay and what you get, the premium technology difference that makes German engineers lose sleep. Number 1 has a capability gap so absurd it sounds like science fiction, yet 50,000 Chinese families are driving it daily. Here's where German engineering starts sweating bullets. Number 5. Xpeng G9. Imagine walking into a BMW dealership looking at an iX priced at $87,000. You're getting 350 miles of range, decent tech, and that kidney grill design language BMW's been recycling since the 1930s. Then you discover there's a Chinese SUV delivering 370 miles of range, charging at 480 kilowatts versus BMW's 195, with LiDAR sensors BMW doesn't even offer, for $58,000. That's $29,000 less for objectively superior technology. The Xpeng G9 isn't competing with premium EVs. It's exposing how badly Western brands are overcharging for outdated hardware. The G9 rides on Xpeng's 800-volt X-Power platform, but here's the shocking part. While Porsche brags about 800-volt architecture in the Taycan starting at $90,000, Xpeng put the same underlying technology in a family SUV for $40,000 less. That 800-volt system enables DC fast charging up to 480 kilowatts peak power. In real terms, you're adding 130 miles of range in 5 minutes at Xpeng superchargers. The BMW iX maxes out at 195 kilowatts, taking nearly twice as long for the same range addition. Tesla Supercharger 5.3 hits 250 kilowatts. Xpeng is literally charging almost double the speed of Tesla's vaunted network, technology Elon keeps promising but hasn't delivered. The battery pack holds 98 kilowatt-hours using CATL's latest cells. WLTP range reaches 370 miles in the long-range variant, competitive with anything from Germany or America. But the efficiency is what shocks engineers. The G9 achieves around 4 miles per kilowatt-hour in optimal conditions, better than Model X and most European competitors despite weighing nearly 2.5 tons. That efficiency comes from obsessive aerodynamic tuning and motor optimization that Western brands somehow can't match despite century-long head starts. Step inside and you're surrounded by screens powered by dual Qualcomm Snapdragon 8155 chips, delivering computing power that makes BMW's iDrive look like Windows 95. The dashboard features a driver display, huge central touchscreen, and optional passenger screen, all running Xmart OS with genuinely useful voice control. You can say activate massage seats and it just works, unlike German systems that require precise phrasing and still misunderstand half the time. The seats themselves are Nappa leather with heating, ventilation, and multi-mode massage standard in higher trims. BMW charges thousands extra for similar equipment packages. The autonomous driving hardware is where the G9 becomes genuinely threatening. Xpeng equipped it with dual LiDAR sensors built into the headlight clusters, providing 3D depth perception and precise obstacle detection cameras alone cannot match. Those LiDAR units feed data into the X-Pilot system, along with multiple cameras and millimeter wave radars. The whole sensor suite enables city and highway autonomous driving that early European reviewers say matches or exceeds Tesla FSD in similar conditions. And here's the kicker, it's included standard. Tesla charges $12,000 for full self-driving that still doesn't fully self-drive. BMW's Level 2 Plus system is extra cost option. Xpeng puts their most advanced hardware in every G9 and updates it over the air at no additional subscription cost. The performance isn't slouch territory either. Dual motors deliver around 550 horsepower in the performance variant, launching the G9 to 60 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds. That's sports car acceleration in a 3-row family hauler. The air suspension adjusts automatically based on road conditions and driving mode, providing both comfort for daily commuting and efficient flat handling when you push hard on mountain roads. Rear-wheel steering tightens the turning circle despite the G9's substantial size, making parking easier than SUVs half a meter shorter. Here's where BMW and Mercedes start panicking. The G9 entered European markets in 2024 priced around 60,000 euros. The BMW iX starts at 78,000 euros. The Mercedes EQE SUV begins around 82,000 euros. For 20,000 to 22,000 euros less, you're getting faster charging, more advanced autonomous driving hardware, standard equipment that Germans charge extra for, and performance that matches or beats them. The only advantage BMW and Mercedes offer is brand prestige, and that's worth less every year as Chinese quality catches up, and younger buyers prioritize technology over badges. Xpeng sold over 30,000 G9s globally in the first year of availability, with strong traction in Norway, Netherlands, and Sweden. These are wealthy markets with high EV adoption and strong preference for premium brands. Yet significant numbers chose the Chinese SUV over established Europeans. That's not buyers compromising to save money. That's buyers making rational decisions based on technology and capability rather than marketing and heritage. The G9 proves Chinese brands have reached the point where badge snobbery is the only defense legacy automakers have left, and for an increasing number of buyers, that defense is crumbling. Fast charging is one thing, but the next car makes supercars look overpriced. Number 4. Xiaomi SU7 Ultra. Picture this scenario. You're at a Porsche dealership admiring a Taycan Turbo S. The salesman quotes you $220,000. You're getting 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds, 200 miles per hour top speed, and that satisfying Porsche badge. Then your friend shows you a Chinese sedan with identical acceleration, nearly identical top speed, longer range, and a price tag of $52,000. You'd assume the Chinese car is garbage, except it just set a Nürburgring lap record for production EVs, and comes from a company that sold 10 million smartphones last month. The Xiaomi SU7 Ultra doesn't just challenge Taycan, it exposes the Porsche pricing model as highway robbery. Xiaomi shocked the automotive world by entering the EV market with zero prior experience, then immediately building something that threatens established performance brands. The SU7 Ultra uses a tri-motor setup delivering 1,527 horsepower, yes, over 1,500 horses, with 0 to 60 happening in just 1.97 seconds. That's quicker than Porsche Taycan Turbo S, quicker than Tesla Model S Plaid, in the same league as multi-million-dollar hypercars. Top speed hits 217 miles per hour, limited only by aero and thermal management. The SU7 Ultra recently set a 6-minute 46-second lap time at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, making it the fastest production EV to ever lap the legendary circuit, beating every Porsche EV, every BMW, every Audi by significant margins. Here's where it gets absurd. Xiaomi will produce the SU7 Ultra as a limited run at approximately $115,000 in China, probably $140,000 to $160,000 in export markets with taxes. That's still $60,000 to $80,000 less than Taycan Turbo S for similar or better performance. The base SU7 Max model with dual motors and around 670 horsepower costs just $52,000 in China, delivering Model 3 performance acceleration for almost $30,000 less. This is a phone company with zero automotive heritage, yet embarrassing Porsche, a brand that's been building performance cars for 75 years. That fact alone should terrify every Western automaker. The platform underpinning this performance is Xiaomi's self-developed 800-volt architecture supporting 5.2C charging. That translates to adding 200 miles of range in roughly 10 minutes on Xiaomi's upcoming ultra-fast chargers. The battery uses CATL's Kill-In Pack with energy density reaching 255 watt-hours per kilogram, among the highest in production EVs. Combined range on the standard SU7 Max hits 500 miles CLTC, approximately 400 miles real-world mixed driving. You're getting supercar performance with legitimate long-distance cruising capability, something Porsche Taycan fundamentally struggles with given its 250 to 300-mile real-world range. Inside, Xiaomi applied their consumer electronics expertise to create what they call a smart cockpit. The dashboard features a 16.1-inch central touchscreen, 56-inch head-up display projecting across the windshield, and compact digital gauges. The system runs Xiaomi HyperOS with native integration for Xiaomi phones, tablets, and smart home devices. You can control your lights, thermostat, security cameras directly from the car's screen. Tesla owners pay thousands for similar smart home integration. Xiaomi includes it standard because they make the phones, the routers, the home devices, achieving vertical integration Western brands can't replicate. The autonomous driving hardware includes cameras, millimeter-wave radars, and optional LiDAR depending on trim. Xiaomi's system enables highway assist and city navigation with over-the-air improvements rolling out monthly. The company hired hundreds of engineers from Tesla, NIO, and Xpeng, creating an autonomous driving team that rivals established players despite Xiaomi only entering automotive in 2024. That pace of development is only possible with Chinese-style capital deployment and willingness to iterate rapidly. Production quality shocked early reviewers. The SU7 body uses aluminum and ultra-high-strength steel with panel gaps measuring around 3 mm, better than most premium brands. Paint quality features 7 layers with 3 clear coats, approaching Lexus standards. Interior materials include genuine Nappa leather, microfiber suede, and aluminum trim. This doesn't feel like a first attempt from a consumer electronics company. It feels like a mature automotive product from a brand with decades of experience. Except Xiaomi built it in under 3 years from concept to production. Here's the premium technology gap that shocks economists. Porsche charges $220,000 for Taycan Turbo S, delivering performance the SU7 Ultra matches for $60,000 to $80,000 less. That's not 10 or 20% savings. That's buying 3 SU7 Ultras for the price of 2 Taycans. Even the base SU7 Max at $52,000 delivers performance and range, cost competitive with $85,000 Model S long range. The value proposition is so extreme it forces uncomfortable questions about what Western premium brands actually deliver for their massive price premiums. The answer increasingly appears to be brand heritage and marketing, rather than superior engineering or technology. Supercar performance is impressive, but the next one defies physics. Number 3. BYD Yangwang U8. Here's a vehicle capability challenge. Name an SUV that can float in water for 30 minutes, rotate 360 degrees on its own axis, drive with a completely flat tire at highway speeds, and accelerate to 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds while weighing over 3.5 tons. You can't, because nothing from Land Rover, Mercedes G-Class, or any American brand can do even one of those things, let alone all 4. The BYD Yangwang U8 costs $145,000 fully loaded and delivers technology that makes $200,000 European luxury SUVs look primitive. The premium technology gap here isn't in screens or speed. It's in engineering capabilities that rewrite assumptions about what vehicles can physically do. The U8 rides on BYD's E to the power of 4 platform, featuring 4 independent electric motors, 1 at each wheel, enabling torque vectoring that conventional all-wheel drive systems cannot replicate. Each motor produces around 220 kilowatts, roughly 295 horsepower, for combined output reaching 1,180 horsepower. That's nearly double what Mercedes-AMG G63 produces from its twin-turbo V8. Yet the U8 achieves it with electric motors that weigh less, require no maintenance, and deliver instant torque. The 0 to 60 sprint takes just 3.6 seconds, despite weighing 3,600 kilograms. Physics says this shouldn't be possible, yet 50,000 Chinese families are daily driving proof that it is. Here's where the U8 becomes genuinely shocking. BYD equipped it with emergency flotation capability. Drive into floodwater, activate float mode, and the U8 seals critical openings, redistributes weight, and uses those 4 motors to propel itself through water for up to 30 minutes at around 3 miles per hour. This isn't a marketing gimmick. It's functional technology developed for regions prone to flooding. The UAE and Middle Eastern markets immediately recognize the value given flash floods that occasionally turn highways into rivers. Land Rover sells the Defender for $90,000, claiming off-road prowess, yet it cannot float. The U8 can, while costing $55,000 more, but delivering exponentially more capability. Tank turn is the party trick that makes automotive engineers question their understanding of physics. With the vehicle stationary, engage tank turn mode. The left wheels rotate forward while right wheels rotate backward, or vice versa, spinning the U8 360 degrees on its axis. The turning radius becomes essentially 0. Stuck in a narrow, dead-end street? Tank turn and exit the way you came. Need to navigate tight mountain switchbacks? Tank turn provides maneuverability, and no conventional SUV can match. Mercedes G-Class has a 12-meter turning circle. The U8 can rotate in place. That's not an incremental improvement. That's a capability paradigm shift. The D-Suze P hydraulic suspension represents another technological leap Western brands haven't matched. Conventional air suspension uses compressed air in spring chambers with adaptive dampers. D-Suze P uses hydraulic actuators at each wheel that can extend or compress independently within milliseconds. This allows the U8 to maintain level ride height with 3 wheels raised off the ground, useful for extreme off-road scenarios. It enables easy access mode, lowering the vehicle for comfortable entry and exit, and it allows driving on 3 wheels if one tire completely deflates at highway speeds. BYD demonstrated the U8 maintaining 75 miles per hour with a front tire totally flat, something that would leave any Mercedes or Land Rover stranded on the shoulder. The autonomous driving hardware includes 3 LiDAR units, 16 cameras, 5mm wave radars, and 14 ultrasonic sensors processed by dual NVIDIA Drive Orin chips. That sensor suite enables highway assist, city navigation, and automated parking competitive with any Western system. Over-the-air updates continuously improve the capabilities. BYD's investment in autonomous driving rivals Tesla's, except they don't promise full self-driving that never arrives. They deliver level 2 plus assistance that works today and gradually improves monthly. Here's the premium technology gap that terrifies Land Rover and Mercedes. The U8's emergency flotation, tank turn, three-wheel driving, and hydraulic suspension represent capabilities no Western luxury SUV offers at any price. Range Rover SVR costs $200,000 and cannot do any of these things. Mercedes Maybach GLS 600 costs $175,000 and cannot do any of these things. The U8 costs $145,000 and does all of them while delivering similar or better luxury and more power. That's not a small advantage. That's delivering science fiction capabilities for less money than conventional luxury SUVs charge for traditional engineering. BYD isn't just competing. They're playing a different game entirely, and Western brands have no answer. Physics-defying SUVs shock, but the next car makes luxury pricing look criminal. Number 2. Li Auto L9. Imagine explaining to a Mercedes S-Class buyer that a Chinese SUV costing half as much has 6 screens, better seats, more interior space, longer range, and technology Mercedes won't have for 3 years. Then imagine that Chinese SUV outsells the S-Class in its home market by a factor of 10. That's the Li Auto L9, a 6-seat luxury flagship that delivered over 120,000 units in its first year, while Mercedes struggled to move 8,000 S-Class sedans in China. This isn't a budget alternative. It's a vehicle delivering S-Class luxury and technology for $65,000, while Mercedes charges $120,000 for objectively less capable hardware. The L9 measures 5.2 meters long with a 3.1 meter wheelbase, creating interior space that matches or exceeds full-size luxury sedans. Li Auto configured it as a 6-seater with captain's chairs in all 3 rows, unusual packaging that prioritizes passenger comfort over cargo capacity. Those second-row captain's chairs recline to nearly flat positions with extending leg rests, heating, ventilation, multi-zone massage, and individual entertainment screens. You're sitting in first-class airline comfort, except you're traveling in a vehicle that costs $55,000 less than S-Class provides in its rear seats. The screen count is where the L9 becomes genuinely shocking. The dashboard features a 13.35-inch instrument cluster, 15.7-inch central touchscreen, and 16.2-inch passenger screen. A 15.7-inch ceiling-mounted display serves rear passengers. 2 additional 11.6-inch screens mount on the front seat backs for third-row occupants. That's 6 screens total, providing independent entertainment and control zones for every passenger. The system runs Li Auto's self-developed OS powered by dual Qualcomm Snapdragon 8155 chips with 5G connectivity, enabling seamless streaming and over-the-air updates. Mercedes S-Class offers maybe 3 screens total, and you'll pay thousands extra for rear entertainment. Li Auto includes 6 standard across the entire L9 range. The powertrain uses a range-extended electric architecture pairing a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine with dual electric motors and a 44.5 kilowatt-hour battery. Total system output reaches around 450 horsepower with pure electric range sitting at 125 miles, enough for most daily driving without burning fuel. Combined range with full battery and tank exceeds 800 miles, eliminating range anxiety entirely. The engine primarily acts as generator, running at optimal efficiency to charge the battery rather than directly driving wheels. This architecture delivers EV smoothness and instant torque for daily use while maintaining unlimited range for long trips. It's the pragmatic solution Western brands dismissed in favor of pure EV that still suffer infrastructure limitations. The audio system deserves specific attention. Li Auto partnered with audio specialists to create a 21-speaker 3D sound system with headrest-mounted speakers, ceiling arrays, and door-mounted units. The setup creates individual sound zones for each passenger rather than filling the entire cabin uniformly. Second-row passengers can watch movies on their screen with personal audio through headrest speakers, while front passengers listen to music or take calls, zero interference between zones. This is technology Rolls-Royce Phantom charges hundreds of thousands extra for, included standard in a $65,000 Chinese SUV. Here's the premium technology gap that shocks luxury brand CEOs. The Li Auto L9 delivers 6 screens, 21-speaker audio, 3 rows of captain's chairs with ventilation and massage, air suspension, 125 miles of electric range, and 800 miles combined range for $65,000. The Mercedes S580 delivers 3 screens, 1 row of premium seats, no electric range, and 400 miles gas range for $120,000. That's paying double for half the capability. Or consider the BMW X7 at $95,000, offering inferior screens, less advanced comfort features, and conventional powertrain versus the L9's range-extended electric. The value proposition is so extreme it forces uncomfortable questions about what luxury brands are actually charging for beyond heritage and marketing. Li Li Auto delivered over 375,000 vehicles in 2024, with the L9 accounting for significant volume. These are Chinese families choosing a domestic brand over Mercedes, BMW, and Audi at similar price points. That represents a fundamental shift in luxury automotive markets. For generations, Chinese buyers with money automatically chose German luxury brands. Now they're rationally evaluating technology and capability, discovering Chinese brands deliver more for less. The L9 proves this trend with sales numbers that terrify established luxury players. When a startup founded in 2015 outsells Mercedes S-Class 10-1 in the world's largest luxury car market, something fundamental has changed. 6 screens and first-class seats are impressive, but number 1 achieves the impossible. Number 1, Zeekr 001. Here's the ultimate premium technology gap that makes automotive engineers question everything. Name a vehicle delivering supercar performance, over 600 miles of range, shooting brake styling, and Porsche-level luxury for $60,000. You can't, because nothing from Europe or America combines those capabilities at any price, let alone $60,000. The Zeekr 001 in its top specification doesn't just undercut Western premium brands, it delivers capabilities that shouldn't exist in a production vehicle, then prices it at levels that make Porsche Taycan Sport Turismo look like robbery. This is the car that makes car companies realize the Chinese aren't just catching up, they've lapped everyone while Western brands were celebrating incremental updates. The Zeekr 001 launched in 2021 as the first vehicle from Zeekr, Geely's premium electric brand. It's a shooting brake, that rare wagon coupe body style Porsche charges over $150,000 for in Taycan Sport Turismo. The design is stunning. A fastback roofline flowing into an integrated rear hatch with 4 doors and 5-seat practicality. Length stretches nearly 5 meters with a 3-meter wheelbase, creating generous interior room. The stance is wide, low, aggressive, looking more like a performance coupe than a family hauler. But the real shock comes when you understand what's underneath that beautiful sheet metal. Multiple powertrain options are available, ranging from efficient single-motor rear-wheel drive to the nuclear option. The 001 FR with quad motors producing 1,265 horsepower. That FR variant hits 60 miles per hour in just 2.02 seconds, making it quicker than McLaren Artura, quicker than Ferrari 296 GTB, rivaling multi-million-dollar hypercars. For context, Porsche Taycan Turbo S makes 938 horsepower and hits 60 in 2.4 seconds. The Zeekr 001 FR is significantly faster for less than half the price, but the most shocking variant is the long-range single-motor version that most buyers actually purchase. This variant uses CATL's Keelan 140 kilowatt-hour battery pack with energy density reaching 255 watt-hours per kilogram. CLTC range hits 1,032 kilometers, roughly 640 miles, in best-case conditions. Real-world highway testing achieved 864 kilometers, or 536 miles, at steady 120 km per hour cruising with 4 passengers. That's not NEDC fantasy range. That's verified real-world testing, surpassing Lucid Air and every other production EV except the Neo ET7 with its absurdly expensive semi-solid-state battery. The Zeekr 001 delivers over 600 miles of real highway range in a vehicle costing around $80,000 fully loaded. Lucid Air with similar range starts at $138,000. That's $58,000 cheaper for similar or better real-world capability. Inside, the 001 combines Scandinavian minimalism with Chinese technology density. The dashboard features a large central touchscreen and digital gauge cluster running Zeekr OS with over-the-air updates. Higher trims include a massive augmented reality head-up display projecting information across the windshield, Nappa leather seats with heating, ventilation, massage, and a premium Yamaha audio system with over 20 speakers. The rear seat space rivals midsize sedans despite the shooting brake body style, and cargo capacity with seats folded matches or exceeds conventional SUVs. This is a vehicle genuinely capable of replacing both a performance car and family hauler, something Porsche promises but charges over $150,000 to deliver. Here's where the premium technology gap becomes genuinely shocking. The Zeekr 001 long-range model delivers over 600 miles of real-world range, 546 kilowatt charging, shooting brake versatility, and premium luxury for approximately $80,000. The Porsche Taycan Sport Turismo Cross Turismo delivers around 250 miles of real range, 270 kilowatt charging, similar versatility, and comparable luxury for over $150,000. That's paying nearly double for less than half the range and slower charging. The 001 isn't just competing with Taycan, it's exposing Porsche's entire pricing strategy as indefensible. What are you paying $70,000 extra for? The badge. That's increasingly all Western premium brands offer beyond what Chinese manufacturers deliver. Here's what terrifies Western automakers. Zeekr is barely 4 years old. They achieved in 4 years what took Porsche 75 years to build, a credible premium performance brand. And they did it while undercutting established players by 40 to 60% on price while delivering superior technology. The 001 proves Chinese manufacturers have mastered premium product development, manufacturing quality and brand positioning faster than anyone predicted. When a 4-year-old Chinese brand beats Porsche's flagship EV on range by 300%, charges twice as fast, and costs half as much, legacy brands are not competing. They're managing slow decline, while desperately hoping tariffs and regulations can delay the inevitable. Drop a like if Chinese innovation shocked you, and comment which of these 5 you'd actually buy if they launched in your market tomorrow. The automotive revolution isn't coming. It already happened, and most people missed.